Imagine swiping right on a guy whose dating profile screams I own a yacht, I invest in crypto, and I go to therapy. You show up for a romantic dinner at his remote, multi-million-dollar mansion, dreaming of your future as a spoiled trophy wife. But suddenly, you wake up curled in a ball inside a soundproof, bulletproof glass cube, with a giant metal collar blinking red around your neck like you just spawned into a twisted survival game. And your Prince Charming? He is standing right outside the class, wearing a bloody designer apron, casually sipping a $1.000 glass of Merlot, and grilling a medium rare Wagyu steak while staring at you like you are his brand new pet hamster. Forget fairy tales and sugar daddies. Guys, today, we are breaking down how an absolutely clueless internet baddie pulled off the biggest outplay in cinematic history to survive the most toxic Tinder match in the universe. Cancel your dates, delete your dating apps, and buckle up, because it is about to go down. Our main character, who we will call the influencer, is a beauty vlogger with a face card that never declines, but a survival IQ that is basically in the negatives. Her life of unboxing PR packages is going great until she makes the fatal mistake of matching with the tech psycho. This guy lives in a massive, ultra-modern smart mansion in the middle of a dense forest, miles away from civilization, where the 5G signal goes to die. Let's be real for a second, this entire setup is a red flag the size of Jupiter. But because the guy has an 8-pack, a perfect jawline, and smells like old money, our girl becomes completely colorblind and decides those red flags are actually cute little pink bows. During their romantic candlelight dinner, he serves her a glass of vintage wine with a special secret ingredient meant to knock out a horse. She chugs it to look sophisticated, and boom, screen goes black. When her brain finally reboots, the cozy fireplace vibe is gone. She finds herself thrown onto the freezing concrete floor of the basement, locked inside a 4-layer reinforced glass cube that not even the Avengers could break out of. The influencer completely panics. She screams, cries, and bangs on the glass with a chair, basically doing exactly what you'd expect a noob to do. Out of the shadows steps the tech psycho, wearing a chilling, perfectly calm smile. He doesn't even bother yelling, he just taps a button on his tablet, turns on the intercom, and greets her with a smooth, late-night radio host voice. It turns out this guy has a massive god complex. His favorite weekend hobby isn't playing golf, it's kidnapping beautiful women and keeping them as pets in his private human terrarium. He politely explains that the heavy metal collar around her neck is a miniature bomb, Bluetooth synced to his ultra-expensive smartwatch and his own heartbeat. If she tries to be a hero and crosses the painted red line by the basement door, or if he unexpectedly flatlines, the collar goes boom, and she gets sent straight back to the lobby permanently. The lengths men will go to avoid going to therapy. Am I right? Kidnapping in the 21st century has become way too high-tech and incredibly cringe. She still thinks this is some sick YouTube prank. But the tech psycho, who radiates absolute top 1 server final bot energy, decides to give her a live demonstration. He drags a poor, bruised fiber optic technician out of the closet. Let's call him the unlucky NPC who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unlike our crying influencer, the NPC wakes up choosing violence. He is cursing, throwing hands, and threatening to smash the glass. The psycho just smirks, crosses his arms, and taps the screen of his smartwatch. Click. The electronic clock on the NPC's cell opens. The poor guy thinks he just caught a lucky break, drops his wrench, and full sprints toward the stairs and freedom. But surprise, shorty. The exact millisecond the tip of his boot hovers over the red painted line on the floor, the collar starts frantically beeping. Beep, 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 kaboom. The NPC gets absolutely deleted from the server in a cloud of red mist. F in the chat for our brave Wi-Fi guy. Witnessing this brutally lit execution leaves the influencer paralyzed with fear. The message was successfully delivered. His house, his rules. You act up, you get packed up. Watching the NPC get permanently uninstalled makes the influencer realize that using brute force is a certified noob strategy. If she wants to make it out alive, she has to use her brain. And this, my friends, is where the ultimate masterclass in emotional manipulation begins. Instead of crying in the corner, she launches a psychological counterattack. She acts like she just caught the fastest case of Stockholm Syndrome in human history. She becomes extremely docile and obedient. She eats whatever he cooks, praising his chef skills like he's Gordon Ramsay, and wears the weird haute couture dresses he buys her without a single complaint. She spends hours sitting by the glass, giving him puppy dog eyes and telling him how brilliant and misunderstood he is. She strokes his fragile male ego until he literally thinks he is a god. The narcissist totally buys it, believing he has successfully tamed his wild pet, and his guard drops to absolute zero. But what he doesn't know is that behind that innocent face is a mastermind calculating every single variable. She noticed early on that his entire evil empire, opening the doors, turning on the lights, and most importantly, deactivating the explosive collars, relies entirely on the Face ID of that stupid smartwatch. Furthermore, because her IQ has suddenly peaked, she secretly stole a solid steel steak fork from her dinner tray weeks ago. Every single night, while he was fast asleep, she spent hours silently grinding that fork against the concrete floor until it became a lethally sharp shiv. Finally, her patience pays off. On a stormy night, because movie weather always knows when the drama is about to peak, the tech psycho makes the dumbest mistake of his miserable life. Convinced his pet is completely in love with him, he deactivates the security lock and physically steps into the glass cage with 2 glasses of champagne to celebrate his absolute dominance. The influencer purrs like a kitten, leans seductively against his chest, whispers sweet nothings into his ear, and closes her eyes, waiting for a passionate kiss. The exact millisecond the tech psycho closes his eyes to savor his toxic victory. The roleplay is over. She whips out a razor-sharp fork at the speed of light and violently stabs it deep into his femoral artery. The guy lets out an agonizing scream that probably woke up the neighbors 3 zip codes away and drops to his knees, bleeding out like a broken fountain, without giving his brain a single second to process the pain. She pounces on him. She grabs him by the hair, snatches his wrist, and aggressively slams the smartwatch screen directly into his sweaty, terrified face. Technology really is a double-edged sword, bro. Beep. System unlocked successfully. With the watch under her control, the influencer steps back, finds the correct app, and hits the magic button. Clack. The death collar unlocks and hits the floor. Without looking back, she vaults out of the glass cell and smashes the emergency lock button on the outside wall. Bip. Bip. The heavy reinforced door seals shut. The tables have completely turned. The Uno reverse card has been played. Now, the tech psycho is the one lying in a pool of his own blood inside the cage, pounding on the bulletproof glass, begging, crying, and throwing a massive tantrum. But the influencer just gives him this ice-cold, top-tier smirk that perfectly defines the word outplayed. Taking her sweet time, she casually walks over to the smart home control panel, turns off the ventilation, and cranks the heater inside the glass cell to a scorching 120 degrees Fahrenheit. She grabs his $1.000 bottle of wine, takes a massive swig straight from the bottle to assert dominance, throws his expensive designer trench coat over her shoulders, and struts up the stairs with absolute boss energy. She leaves the psycho to slowly slow roast in his own personal hell. Absolute cinema. So, what did we learn today? Besties? Stop idolizing guys on dating apps just because they flex nice cars and big houses. A toxic red flag doesn't turn green just because he pays for dinner. Sometimes it just leads you straight into a basement. But more importantly, this movie proves that brains and patience will always beat brute force. Never, ever underestimate a woman pushed to her absolute limits, because the level of calculated genius they can unlock is terrifying. What did you guys think of this insane reversal? If you woke up in that glass box on a random Tuesday, what would your escape plan be? Would you try the seduction route, throw hands, or just go AFK and accept your fate? Let me know your big brain strategies down in the comments. If you enjoyed this wild fire recap, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another dose of absolute cinematic chaos. Stay safe out there. Swipe left on the psychos. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.